The day I got my very first paycheck. Man, I remember it like it was yesterday. I walked out of the bank and I could literally feel the money burning in my wallet. On one hand, I was like, yes, freedom, finally. But at the same time, this weird question popped into my head. Dude, what do I even do with this money now? Should I pay the rent, pay off some debt, or just save it? Or maybe I should say, hey, I worked hard for this. I deserve a treat and buy myself something fancy. You know what the crazy part is? We spent years in school, went to college, started working, but nobody ever pulled me aside and said, look, here's how you actually manage your money. They always told us, work, earn, spend. Okay, sure. But how do you spend? How do you save? How do you invest? Nobody ever explained that part. At least not to me. We learned the math behind all kinds of random systems, but when it came to the math of money, complete silence. And if you're in the same situation, trust me, you're not alone. The money comes in, but there's no system. There's a plan, but nobody actually follows through. There's income, but no real budgeting. So today, I'm saying, let's break this cycle together. Let's flip the switch in our heads. In this video, I'm not going to give you any crazy get rich quick from the stock market kind of tips. Instead, I'll share 7 simple, clear, and practical money rules. And trust me, the impact is huge. I just wish someone had told me these in my 20s. Maybe I wouldn't be sighing like this right now. Ah, youth. You know those people who say, come on, I only spend $10 a day. No big deal. That's exactly where the problem starts, folks. Those little daily expenses add up to become a total monster by the end of the year. Here's the famous 300 rule. It basically says this: that tiny amount of money you spend every day gets multiplied by about 300 over the year. Quick math, $10 a day adds up to roughly $3,000 a year. And for the people in the comments saying, well, actually, it's $3,650. My answer is, we're talking about the rough impact here. Now, let's push it further. You go from $10 to $50 a day. Boom, that's $15,000 gone. And the sad part, if you ask yourself where it all went, you probably won't even remember. When I first heard this rule, I laughed it off. Man, that's too simple. What's the big deal? But then I looked at my bank account at the end of the year, and it was basically mocking me. You spent it, but you have no clue where it went, do you? Daily coffee runs, dinners at that famous BBQ joint, throwing random cheap stuff into your cart at the store. And then, boom! By the end of the month, your account is completely drained. Financial freedom doesn't start with making big money. It starts with plugging the leaks. And I mean starts, not that it magically happens overnight. This rule teaches us one simple truth. You want to get rich, folks? Plug the holes first, because no matter how big your boat is, even a tiny leak can sink it, Titanic style. Most of us invest, but here's the real question. When will our money actually turn into something meaningful? Ask any saver, hey, how long are you gonna keep stashing cash like this? Most will say, man, I've never really thought about it. And that's the problem. You're working, but you're stuck in a never-ending game, and you don't even realize it. That's when the rule of 72 steps in to save the day. It's super simple. Wondering when your money will double? Take your annual return, divide it by 72, and boom, you've got your answer. For example, if your money grows at 8% a year, 72 divided by 8 equals 9. So in 9 years, your money doubles. Wait, it's really that simple? Yep, that simple. If your return is 12%, even better. 72 divided by 12 equals 6. In just 6 years, your money doubles. This simple formula gives you a crystal clear picture of when your money will actually work for you. People who invest without knowing the timeline end up waiting for years and then say, wow, we waited all this time. For what? Why? Because there was no plan, no calculation, no idea if time was working for them or against them. That's exactly where the rule of 72 steps in and tells you, hey, just wait this many years. Your money will grow this much. That's all you need to know. Bottom line, if you skip this simple math, both your money and your time are slipping away. Man, what a waste. Spending without a plan. That's like hitting the road without a GPS. You think, we'll figure it out, but by the end of the month, you're asking yourself, man, where did all my money go again? Here's where the 50-30-20 rule comes to the rescue. The idea is simple. 50% of your income goes to needs, essentials like rent, bills, and transportation. 30% goes to wants, things like eating out, going to the movies, or new clothes. The last 20% goes to your future, savings, paying off debt, maybe even investing. The beauty of this rule? It automatically keeps you on track. It shows you exactly where your money is going. Most of us complain, I don't make enough, but the real issue isn't lack of money, it's lack of planning. Put this simple rule into practice, and you'll see how much lighter you feel. When you realize what you can actually do with the money you already have, you'll be like, wow, so that's how it works. This isn't just about budgeting, folks. It's the foundation of financial discipline. And the best part? You can do it while still having fun. From the outside, everyone's life looks perfectly organized, right? Until something unexpected happens. Your phone breaks, you lose your job, or a medical bill shows up out of nowhere, and suddenly, your whole world is turned upside down. That's when it hits you. Wow, I've been walking a tightrope this whole time. There's only one way to turn that fragile rope into something strong and sturdy: building an emergency fund. The idea is simple. Never touch the money you set aside. You should have enough to cover at least 3 to 6 months of expenses. Rent, groceries, bills. This fund keeps you afloat even if no income comes in. And don't think, that's too fancy for me. This isn't a luxury, it's survival. Some people think credit cards are their safety net. They're not. That's not protection, that's a trap. Real security is measured by how long you can stand on your own. And here's the real beauty. This fund doesn't just protect you, it gives you freedom. Wanna quit your job? You won't be scared thinking, what happens now? Starting a new adventure? You won't panic. What if it fails? In short, your emergency fund is the plan B you write for your own life. And those without a plan B, when plan A falls apart, they pay a heavy price. Don't let that be you. Buying a car used to be simple. I just need a ride to work, and that was it. But now, it's all about strategy, math, and careful planning. Prices are through the roof, interest rates are insane, and loans can tie you down for years if you're not careful. That's why the 24-10 rule is so important. It says, put at least 20% down. Don't finance for more than 4 years, and keep your monthly car payments under 10% of your income. Smart, simple, and practical. But here's the thing, life doesn't always follow the rules. In times of high inflation, for example, a payment that feels heavy today could seem like pocket change a few years later. That's why some people think, I'll just tough it out now, and it'll get easier later. But will your income actually rise at the same pace? That's the big unknown. Banking on the future to fix today's stress can be one of the biggest mistakes you'll ever make. Be careful. So, here's the bottom line. Follow the rule exactly if you can. If you need to stretch it a little, make sure your payments don't eat up more than 15 to 20% of your income. Anything more is trouble. And remember, the real question isn't just what the car costs, but what value it brings to your life. A car is supposed to carry you. The moment you start carrying the car, that's when you've got a problem. Housing is a basic need for everyone, but if you let rent eat up too much of your budget, you won't even notice until it's too late. The 3x rent rule draws a clear line. Your monthly rent shouldn't be more than 1/3 of your gross income. So, if you make $6,000 a month, your rent should be around $2,000 at most. Most of us start thinking, let's get a slightly nicer place, and stretch the budget a little. But that small stretch slowly drains your savings, kills your chances to invest, and turns you into someone who's just working to pay rent. Look, living in a beautiful home is great, but peace of mind is even better. When rent eats you alive, you end up cutting back on things like travel, entertainment, healthcare, and education. And that's when life hits you like a ton of bricks. Dude, your home should make you happy, not break your back. The end of the month comes. You check your bank account and think, what did I even spend money on? Where did all my money go? Sounds familiar, right? The truth is, most of us can't control our spending because we don't really know what's a genuine need versus what's just a habit we've gotten into. That's where the reverse cash flow test comes in. The rule is simple: no overthinking. First, write down your major monthly expenses. Then, ask yourself honestly for each one. If I cut this out for just 1 month, would my life fall apart? If your answer is, nah, I'd be fine, then hate to break it to you, that expense isn't a necessity, it's just a luxury habit. And maybe it's exactly these invisible luxuries that keep you from saving, investing, or even keeping up with your credit card bills. But once you do this test, you clearly see where your money's going. And once you see it, you don't even have to ask, where should I cut back? The answer's already staring you right in the face. Bottom line, folks, budgeting without awareness is nothing more than punching numbers into a spreadsheet. Numbers won't put money in your pocket. Awareness will. In this video, I've shared 7 fundamental, crystal clear, no-nonsense rules about money management. Every single one is actionable. They're not just theories gathering dust on a shelf. Instead, they deliver real results over time. But here's the thing, this doesn't end here. I've got so much more to share with you. Because financial freedom isn't just about knowing stuff. It all starts with behavior. And establishing that behavior? It doesn't happen overnight. It takes time. It takes patience. So, I'm wrapping up this video here, but keep this topic on your radar. If these rules resonated with you, if you're thinking, I'm ready to start this journey, and you want more content like this, just hit that like button. That's it. For me, this isn't about chasing likes. It just helps me understand one thing. Is there really a community out there that cares about these topics? Oh, we're not done yet. Check out my channel. I've got tons of videos where I dive deep into other aspects of these subjects. Make sure to check those out too. And don't forget to drop a comment. Which of these 7 rules do you struggle with the most? Or what would you add to this list? Remember, sometimes the answer you've been searching for years is hidden in someone else's single line.